As the war expanded, thousands took to the streets in protests, especially on college campuses. There were some cases of violence and arrests, but overall protests at Oregon schools were calm until May 1970. That's when National Guardsmen in Ohio killed 4 student protesters and wounded others at Kent State University. Students at colleges around the country walked out of classes.
I think it was important that students walk out nationally to show their rage at the fact that National Guardsmen were gratuitously shooting people on a college campus.
At Portland State, protesters built barricades around campus, stopped traffic, and set up a first aid tent in the middle of the South Park blocks.
I was a student at Portland State University. I was a writer, a photographer, and covering the news as well as taking my classes. There was protest every day, marches up and down through downtown from Portland State, and so my job was to cover those and take pictures.
Then, on May 11th, the situation exploded.
I now hereby command you all to disperse. Those that do not...
So we got a call that the police were forming. So I grabbed my camera, ran up there, and sure enough, there was a lot of police. I was just following along, taking my pictures the whole time. And all of a sudden, the officers started stamping their feet and using their batons heading towards the students. And the next thing I know, they were screaming and yelling. There was people being knocked to the ground with batons, being pulled away by their hair. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing, that was happening. I'd gone all week taking pictures, and I never thought that could happen.
I was standing next to some fellow who went after this cop. And the cop just took his baton and hit the guy on the head. And I swear it was like a cartoon. And the guy crumbled down to the ground. And I said, oh my God, I've got to get this guy out of here. This isn't right.
More than 31 protesters were reportedly injured.
Yeah, I'm a student at Portland State. I was in Vietnam about 1.5 years ago. The police coming here perhaps to keep order, but they went too far yesterday. I really believe they went too far.